Tell us about your meeting with Secretary Clinton and where the issue stands now.
Well, she'd been to Poland before, and we remembered that it was the Clinton administration that decided about NATO enlargement. So she's no stranger to our country, and we feel that NATO enlargement was good for Poland, good for the United States, and so there are some good vibes between us and Mrs. Clinton.
Good vibes, but...
Mr. Foreign Minister, as a practical matter, you're not going to get those missiles, are you?
There you go.
Are you talking about missile defense?
Anti-missile missiles. I think the administration is going to trade those away to get the Russian missiles out of Kaliningrad and to get Russian cooperation in Iran. And did she tell you, Ms. Secretary of State tell you, definitely those missiles are going to be deployed in Poland?
Well, the Russian missiles don't exist in Kaliningrad yet, and there are two sets of missiles. There is the interceptors for the MD European site, and then there are the short-range Patriot missiles that we actually want.
Anti-aircraft.
Anti-aircraft.
So you're not getting the anti-missile missiles, however.
That's up to the United States. The new administration needs to make up its mind. We accept that.
Mr. Biden said we're going to reset Russian relations, which means we're going to move towards some kind of détente. And that's the price of Moscow, is it not? Well,
MD is an American system. We also want to have good relations with Russia. Poland actually has 14 billion euros of trade with Russia. Russia is an important supplier of energy. We want to have the best possible relations with Russia.
Let me ask you about, can I ask you about Georgia?
One more, Pat.
Sure. Do you think Abkhazia and South Ossetia are ever going to be returned to Georgia as long as the Russians are down there?
Well, certainly not under the current Russian leadership. I think the events of last summer set that back by many years.
Okay, Mr. Foreign Minister, let's talk about Afghanistan, because as I believe a student at Oxford, you traveled in as a freelance journalist to Afghanistan and looked at the situation with Russia. What did you learn from that time, and how do you think things stand now in terms of Afghanistan in relation to the rest of the world and what needs to be done there?
I spent 6 weeks at Tora Bora in 1986, and I reported on the delivery of Stinger missiles on the battlefield, which were actually crucial in swaying that war between the Afghan Mujahideen and the Soviets. And I therefore believe that the Soviets could actually have won in Afghanistan had it not been for the courageous decision by the Reagan administration. It's a very tough terrain. I think the administration is onto the right thing by having appointed a representative for both Afghanistan and Pakistan. Pakistan is now as tough a situation as Afghanistan. We actually lost a Polish hostage who was beheaded by the Pakistani Taliban in Pakistan. So we need to have a coordinated approach to both. I think President Obama will make an appeal to the Europeans to increase the forces available to NATO. Poland has already done so. We're at 1,600. We are responsible for the Ghazni province, which is on the Kabul-Kandahar road.
What would you like to see President Obama do in his approach to Poland, specifically in relation to its relationship with Russia?
We are members of NATO. We are members of the EU. Poland is now a secure, successful country. I feel we can contribute to our joint efforts in places like Afghanistan. Remember, we invoked Article 5 because America was attacked. But this is a very tough situation where we need the cooperation of both NATO and the EU to have a chance of success, because we're not winning, and this is a crucial year in Afghanistan with the election, and we need to change the trends in Afghanistan.
Mr. Foreign Minister, Joe Biden gave a speech overseas talking about the necessity of starting anew, the United States, the Obama administration starting anew with Russia. Are you afraid they may be so eager to improve relations with Vladimir Putin and Russia that Poland somehow gets treated worse as we move forward?
I don't think so. I go back to Warsaw reassured after my meeting with Hillary Clinton. She has healthy geopolitical instincts. She was very well briefed, and she understands the realities of our region. For example, the fact that Ukraine and its continued independent existence within current borders is a swing nation in that part of the world.
And talk about America's, Americans sometimes seem obsessed with what the rest of the world thinks about them. We understand now that
we have a disagreement
we
about
were
that.
loathed, we were despised when George Bush was president. Now that Barack Obama is president, everybody loves us. Has our relationship improved, you think, in Poland and across the world because of Barack Obama's
Our global
presidency?
reputation.
I do think that the election of President Obama has restored America's moral standing in the world. You're capable of democratically leading the West again.
Okay.
Foreign Minister
good.
Radoslaw Sikorski.
Did the Secretary of
Pat
State say
can't
we're going to
stop.
bring
No, we can't.
we're going to bring Ukraine into NATO?
Oh, that's a
She
good
did
one.
not.
Well, we stand by the Bucharest Consensus, which is to
Right.
say they will one day become members of NATO, but not just yet.
And the Eastern Initiative.
All
Okay,
right.
we can keep talking.
And if you'd like to follow him to the car, if it's all right with security.
By the way, in Poland we have a Paris Hilton character called Doda. I can give you her phone number.
That would be great.
Doda.
You can burn Toda.
Oh, rip it up.
Yeah, just like that.